Welcome to PiSeas Tarot, and I am your host, Mimi Lightseer. Your business is my business. Today, we will dive into your business with a timeless relationship reading, which means it could be platonic, professional, or romantic. In this session, we will explore the overall energy of your reading, obtain cosmic insights to identify the topics, spill the teachings involved, positives, negatives, while revealing the lessons that you need to learn, and suggest actions for healings in the best possible. Remember, this is a general reading and you have found it when this message is needed. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. Remember, I am LGBTQ plus friendly, using pronouns for storytelling purposes. Lastly, please like, rate, subscribe, and comment. Let me know how this message is connecting with you. And without further ado, let's get into your business.
Good morning, everybody. How you doing this morning? I am Mimi Lightseer, and over here at PiSeas Tarot, your business is my business. And ooh, honey, let me tell you, today, Spirit has pulled up a chair because we about to dive all the way into somebody's business. And ooh, child, the tea is steeping hot this morning, okay? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to my guppies swimming early in the light. Good evening to my night owls and my graveyard shift, and a big old warm-filled love to my international cousins joining us from all over the world. If you are new to the Pisces pod, go ahead and drop a star in the chat so we can show you some love. If you've been here before, welcome back. You know what to do. Drop a fish in the chat. And let's get ready to slide right on into this soul circle. Let's give our newbies a warm and welcoming invite to here to our spiritual family and enjoy their trip here at the beach. Oh boy, y'all, today's agenda, so that you know how we flowing. Get comfy, okay? That's all I can tell you. Get comfy. All right. We'll do a brief energy cleanse, which is a moment to center ourselves with breath work and sound. Then we'll jump into some sound bowl healing, which is what I was just talking about. Then we'll get into the divine insights. Check out what Spirit has been sharing with me coming into this morning. Then we'll go ahead and jump right over into the overall energy reading to fill out what's bubbling underneath the surface. And then we will clean this up with, or clarify this with the tarot card readings. And then we'll close it out with the final thoughts from me about what I think the action steps are. So good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, 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 y'all. I can't even think straight right now because I'm over here like, I'm anxious and ready to get into it. So if y'all ready to get into it, drop those scrub brushes in the chat, and let's get it to it. All right, here we go. Before we move any forward, let's take a minute to ground ourselves and become aligned. We're going to take in 3 deep breaths, hold it, and exhale slowly. All right. So with the first one, we're just going to practice taking in a deep breath, count to 4, hold it for 4, release it for 4. All right, here we go. Again, let's inhale clarity and peace and exhale tension and distractions. One more time. Let's breathe in alignment and release anything we don't need to carry with us in this moment. Beautiful. Now we're ready to clear the energy and open up space for Spirit to come in. Divine Spirit, we invite you into this space. Wrap us in your protection and your guidance. Surround us with your light and your love, and allow this reading to be clear, accurate, and delivered in the highest good of all of those who are involved. May this moment bring insight, clarity, and truth. Thank you. Amen. And I say, All right, now, y'all, let's shift some gears here and prepare for a little bit of fun, a lot of truth, and some deep insight as a gentle reminder. This space is safe and sacred. Your honesty and your openness, plus your laughter, are all welcome here. We have all been a fool in love, and today just may be your turn. So don't worry if today's reading calls you out just a little bit. If you are ready for spirit to start cooking, drop those cooking emojis in the chat and let's go ahead and get into this message. All right, here we go. Now, each day before do any reading, I always take a minute to reflect upon the immediate energies that Spirit is sharing with me and what I feel is going through the collective, okay? And sometimes it's a download, sometimes it's a vision, and sometimes it's a song stuck in my head called an earworm, okay? And I know that that is Spirit trying to get our attention. So here's what I'm receiving today. As I was preparing myself to come, okay? When I tell you, I I heard and saw two different things. First thing I kept hearing was Aaliyah singing back, back, forth and forth. And so when I was thinking about it, I was like, why would that be the earworm for today? But as I was like thinking further about it, right? It was the back, back, forth and forth. That was like the first thing that caught my attention. It wasn't even the song. And then Spirit dropped this record in my spirit. And I could hear the full thing, okay? And this is Neo 2 Million Secrets, okay? And I don't think we've ever had this as an earworm. It's been a long time, so it's possible, okay? But I could hear Neo singing. But how you going to act like I wasn't someone you could run to? All you had to do was tell me what you wanted. You know I was going to come through like I'm supposed to. Never held you to your duties as a wife, let you do what you want to. Cause I had a couple in the background down to give me what I couldn't get from you. That ain't an excuse. I made a promise. And then I hurt you. I'm really sorry, to be honest, for once. I know this is difficult to work through. And that's why I'm drinking a little more frequently, smoking a little more lately. I kept 2 million secrets, and she's got every reason to hate me because I played with her heart. She got every reason to hate me, and it's tearing me apart. She got every reason to hate me. Now I'm drinking a little more frequently, smoking a little more lately. I kept 2 million secrets, and she's got every reason to hate me. I don't blame you for hating me. She got every reason to hate me. I don't blame you for hating me. Okay? And so I said, oh my gosh, whether it's a lyric, a phrase, a feeling, or a spiritual prompt, know that if we landed here today, it is for a reason. And someone may need this confirmation, someone may want this validation, and somebody may just be you. So if y'all ready to get into this reading, I want you to drop those tea kettles in the chat, tea kettles in the chat, tea kettles in the chat. Because I want to know who is going back and forth in this toxic relationship. Okay. And it is coming from the energy of the male who has failed the woman, okay, or their partner. All right. Here we go. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and pour this tea because I feel like Spirit got something to say. When we talk about energy, it's important to remember that the universe speaks many languages and speaks to us in an abundance of ways. Sometimes it's through signs, synchronicities, wonders, numbers, emotions, patterns, dreams, people, and yes, even silence. Okay. You just got to be still long enough to listen. All right. And to hear what is being communicated with you. So, today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, people, the overall energy reading for today is a grand symphony. Okay, a grand symphony. Now, thank you, Temptress, for my gifts. A grand symphony. Okay. Now, with this, I can't help but to notice that there are leaves flying everywhere, which means there has been some type of disruption of some sort. Either you or your person could be an earth sign, okay? But I definitely feel like this is a grand announcement, something that has caught something or someone off guard, okay? And we have a hummingbird here, all right? Let me look up what does a hummingbird represent because I don't remember offhand. Let me see. Okay, it's joy, lightness, love, and healing. Okay, so I feel like with this card, okay, um, it is reflecting the ending. It's a grand symphony disruption. Okay, how everything is coming together. Okay, and things are being called to take you to a different level. Okay, to a different level. And it's a comfort here, okay? Like no other, right? But then it's also one of those things where you have a person who has not healed from the actions that were taken. Okay. Look, I can't make it up. Grief, grief, okay? I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it, all right? So we're definitely talking about disruption, okay? Disruption. Recognizing that everything that's coming your way, you pretty much have deserved. Because you were not doing the right things by them. You weren't treating them the right ways that you should be treating them. You didn't hold up your end of the bargain. Someone has entrusted you with their life and you played with it. Okay? You played with it. Now, Goddess of the Hidden Realms, what do you have to say to us today? Happy, healthy, and wise. Okay. Mentorship, fulfillment, a peace of mind, and self care. All right. You see this? The heart is going through something of some sort. Okay. Um, Changes. Okay. Disruption, but knowing that there is peace here. It's a phase. Somebody is looking back over how they've handled things, and I feel that they're disappointed in themselves. Even though they had every reason, every excuse to give, it definitely feels like they have been disappointed in themselves and how they've handled things. Okay? Um Knowing that they weren't doing what the best that they could. They were, but they weren't, okay? This is nurturing. I am a spark of divinity. Change me, divine beloved, into one who accepts my body exactly as it is, seeing it as a vessel for your love. Fill me with gratitude in this physical form and let me nurture and care for myself in every way. Okay? Now, we have the color green again. Somebody's having a change of heart. somebody is definitely having a change of heart, and it's long overdue. Okay, this particular person that we are getting into and talking about has been so disheveled and so all over the place. Um, Not really taking things serious, even though it's a very serious business matter. They have not been taking this very serious. They didn't want to take it serious. They wanted to have their cake and eat it too. They wanted to have everything done their way or no way at all. And that broke the trust. Okay. That broke the trust. All right. Um, so how is this showing up? Really? How is this showing up in our lives today, Spirit? Community. Okay. Now that the cookie has started to crumble, now that things have started to unravel, okay, we got the community showing up for the person who is freeing themselves. Okay. Oof, child. It's almost like the persons whose views this is coming from, they've accepted their fate. They've accepted their destiny. They know that they are wrong. They know that they have been wrong. They know that they did not perform a service to you, yet and still, they are taking some time. You know, sometimes people don't call themselves out on their own BS until it's gone. It is true. People don't know what they have until it's gone. And so now that there has been this separation, there has been reason for this person to sit back and reflect. This person that we're talking about has been very cold and callous, nonchalant, uncaring, demotivated, checked out a long time ago. But nevertheless, now that the person that they have been mentally antagonizing and abusing has checked out the group chat, now they're like, oh, maybe I should have been the person that they expected for me to be. Maybe I shouldn't have done the things that I've done. You understand what I'm saying? If this is making sense to you, I want you to go ahead and give me the thumbs up in the chat, okay? Because this is interesting energy, and y'all know when I'm fumbling and stumbling over stuff, it's because it's kind of challenging for me to pick it up, okay? So, with that said, we're about to jump deeper into these insights and energy and tune into the people who are involved. Yes, we are talking about them too. I want you to stay focused on what resonates with you and leave what doesn't float away. Okay. You got it? All right. Now, the part of the song that I didn't read was that there was some type of evidence expelled. Okay. Um, there was some type of hard proof evidence that there was of infidelity. It's always been expected or anticipated, type of thing. Like they kept feeling it, but they never had any tangible proof. Okay. Confession. Someone has to tell you something. Okay. So there is a confession here of some sort. I recognize that you got every reason to hate me. I've been playing with you. I haven't been to you who I said I am and I would and could be to you. I violated my commitments to you. You got proof. I've embarrassed you before the streets and spiritual realm. Oof. This person is going through it, okay? Love. Love is everywhere. Open up your heart to feel it. Okay? Open up your heart to feel it. Love was everywhere, all right, for him. Or them. Okay, here we go. And what's interesting is I don't get the sense like they want a second chance. It feels more so like they're grieving the loss of this relationship and understand wholeheartedly they can never come back. They understand that they can never be forgiven for the things that they've done. Okay? They understand. Does that mean that they're secretly hoping for a reconnection or reconciliation? Possibly. But at the end of the day, they know that what they have done has been so egregious that they can't undo this. They can't come back. Healing. I told y'all this is about somebody healing, okay? Your body, mind, and soul are in a period of deep healing right now. You are going through many transformations at once, and you're being asked to allow yourself to receive the healing that you need with open arms and an open heart, okay? Healing. Healing. It feels like both parties are going through a healing, but one's healing looks different than the other. One's healing looks more like freedom and celebration and joy and laughter. The other person's healing looks like grief, despair, sadness, okay, disappointment. Woo. Chained. Chained. Okay. Codependency, unhealthy attachments, feeling weighed down. I can imagine if you were in a relationship, specifically a marriage with someone, and they were doing a bunch of things that you didn't like. I can imagine you feeling like you're chained, right? You can't let go. You can't just walk away from a marriage so easily and so effortlessly. For some of you, you may not have been physically married. For some of you, you have felt like you were mentally and emotionally married, okay? But because the song is coming from the perspective of a married man, I'm going to keep it there, okay? So just get it how you get it, all right? Now, what is the T? Obsessive lover, dangerous, toxic, unhealthy, possessiveness, and karmic. Now, just because you marry somebody doesn't mean that they're not a karmic lover or a lesson that comes to teach you. And as we've discussed previously, karmic is one of those things where people just overgeneralize and simplify as being a lesson coming to teach you. But being a karmic partner means it's destructive. It causes suffering. It's low vibrational, okay? Not only that, but it puts you always on the attack and defense. That's what makes this so toxic because it's not collaborative, it is not cohesive, it is not forward moving. It's not one of those instances where you could and should be wanting to be your best self possible for this other person. It's more so about all about you. All about you and no one else. And that's where some of the irritants have lied, okay? If you think you know who I'm talking about this morning, I want you to go ahead and put a black heart in the chat. If you know who I'm talking about this morning, go ahead and put a black heart in the chat. Determined, persistent, holding on, still holding on, gifts and flowers. Remember I spoke to y'all about somebody being married? Y'all see that? It's two people on their wedding day with their wedding bands. Okay? Determined, persistent, still holding on. Okay? If you are married to this person, I want you to drop a white heart in the chat. Y'all, if you heard me say earlier in the song, the guy talks about there being some hard, concrete evidence. There was a feeling of infidelity all this time until there was hard, concrete evidence. I said, that's the part of the song I didn't talk about. If you heard me say that earlier, raise your hand in the chat. Raise your hand in the chat. We have recordings, announcements, expressions, revealing. If you heard me say this earlier, go ahead and raise your hand in the chat. There was some type of evidence that was found. Okay? Some type of concrete evidence that helped bring this relationship down. Okay? There has been some type of proof. There was always that feeling. But now you know. Now you know. And when you know, you know. When you know, you know. Okay? Oh, God. 2 messages just came out. 1, love child. Love child. So if you're married to someone and they got a baby with somebody else, just raise your hand in the chat. I'm just curious. If they've conceived a child outside of your marriage, just go ahead and raise your hand in the chat. The other that came out is love message, okay? Love message. But when you look at this, look at their body language and facial expressions. This don't look very loving and very welcoming and very warm. It looks like there was some type of bad news that was delivered here. Okay? It looks like some type of bad news, and the male is like consoling the female. Okay? But it doesn't look like it's warm. It doesn't look warm at all. What is blocking this spirit? Thank you, Jacqueline, for my gift. All right, let's see. Getting crumbs. You deserve more than crumbs of affection. Wait for someone who adores you. So someone definitely has been feeling like they were getting breadcrumbed. They were not getting their whole self. They weren't getting everything that they could have been getting from you. And I spoke to that earlier, like when I was talking about the suspicions. What is the true crime here, Spirit? What is the true crime here? Now I'm hearing him say, it was no way that I could deny it was me. It was me. Uh, inside, okay? Inside. Okay, there was something hidden deep inside in a dark space. Perhaps their inability to really be who they said that they wanted to be. Like this person, ooh, ooh, that was really harsh. But Spirit said this person was really, okay, really. And that's where like that metamorphosis is coming in, that necessary change and transformation, that total makeover, okay? Now the question is, was there any love truly here in this situation? Don't take this personally, but my heart belongs to someone else. Taken. So this is very, very much so a cold, done, chilled relationship. It's over. Okay. It is no coming back from this. All right, y'all. Start dropping in the chat your zodiac signs. Start dropping in the chat your zodiac signs because we about to get into it. Person A is definitely the person who has wronged this other person, okay? They do have a confession, something that they need to tell you. They haven't told you. They have this secret deep inside. They have a love child, which is just going to further damage the relationship, okay? Um they're still holding on, okay, to this situation, being very obsessive. This is dangerous, this is unhealthy, this is toxic. Very much so karmic. Very much so karmic, okay? Um Also, they're going through that total healing that I told you about, which is possibly why they are determined, like still holding on, looking to give you things. Um but it's not coming out or coming through the way that you want it to come through, okay? Person B. Person B was suspecting that something was off, okay? They felt like they were getting the crumbs. There was some type of recorded evidence that was presented to them, and that's what had the wake up call for them to realize that they were being chained. They were codependent in an unhealthy attachment. They felt weighed down, wanting to walk away, but they couldn't exactly walk away. And now that they realize that love is everywhere. Like they were so laser focused in on you, this one person, that they didn't realize that they were not loving themselves. And they're like, don't take it personally, but my heart belongs to someone else. But the real person that their heart belongs to is them. Okay. So that's where this is coming from. This love message is coming from, because it's like, bro, you on the inside are a really bad person. I hate to say it that way, but that's the only way that I can say it right now. Okay. All right, y'all. If y'all ready to get into this business, all right, drop them zodiac signs in the chat. Drop them in the chat. All right. Now, remember, I do my readings for Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. So if I don't call your elements or your placements, remember, I do them for multiple different pieces of your natal chart. All right. If you are a cross watcher, you are still welcome in this space too. Now, the real question is, whose business are we about to get into today? All right. Let's find out. Here we go. Okay, y'all. If y'all interested in knowing who we talking about today, drop those magnifying glasses in the chat, magnifying glasses in the chat, magnifying glasses in the chat. Listen, we don't judge. We sure finna zoom in, get in your business, talk about you to your face, confirm some things, and then we gonna get on up out and go on with our day. All right? Person A. Person A is coming through as a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We have been picking up on a lot of this energy lately. My goodness. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, you are coming in as the Page of Cups, okay? Creative opportunities, intuitive messages, curiosity, possibility, happy, surprise, dreamer, sensitivity, and new love, okay? Mm, they done came through and like, we over here like, they late in the dollar short, okay? Person B, you're coming through today as a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Where are my water signs and my air signs? Drop a water sign and an air sign in the chat if you are either group, okay? You are coming through today as the Page of Swords. New ideas, curiosity, quest for knowledge, new ways of communicating, restlessness, and mental energy, all right? Whew, child. If you are a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, drop those clouds in the chat. If you are a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, go ahead and drop those water signs in the chat because baby, it's time for us to get into this. All right, here we go. All right, y'all. So this is where the energy meets the message, where I bring confirmation, clarity, and maybe even a little bit of conviction. So it's important for us to be able to let spirit speak. Remember, the energy can be inverted, okay? Maybe you're the other person. Maybe you feel like person B in this, okay? And the other person is the opposite, all right? The energy can be inverted, all right? I'm just telling you a narrative so that you guys can hear it, all right? All right. So, what is going on this morning with my Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces? They always in something. God, dog. All right, here we go. Person A, I can't make it up. You're coming in this morning as the Page of Cups in reverse. Okay, the Page of Cups in reverse. Well, at least you're coming in with your energy this morning. Like, God, dog it, okay? I feel strongly that this is this back and forth energy coming in here, okay? This feels like this is one of those things where it's just like, I know I could have and I should have done better, been better of a person. I'm just not coming forward and saying this. So what I'm saying to you is this person is feeling all of these feelings right now, but this person is not coming forward and openly sharing their feelings with you right now. They're going through this soul dark night of the soul cleansing, and they're going through this mental boot camp, if you will, that is shifting how they view and do things. Like, this is that wake up call that they needed to have a long time ago, and they kept like snoozing. This Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio is feeling all of these feelings, but for some reason or another, they're not coming to you and apologizing to you just yet. That's where this confession is coming in. Okay, that's where this confession is coming in. But right now, they're like, I know I shouldn't be saying that because I earned her hate. I earned her dislike for me. I earned her frustration with me. Like, I earned all of it, you know? And rightfully so. Rightfully so. Now, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, your current energy. Why is this card here? In the wrong deck. Your current energy is the Five of Wands in reverse. Okay? You're at the point where you're just like, you know what? I'm no longer going to be competing. I'm not going to force myself to compare where I don't belong. At this point, I am angry. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm not turning a blind eye. I saw with my own eyes the evidence that I needed to see. And now that I know what I know, I'm not going to sit here and keep telling myself to stay in this unhealthy, toxic, draining relationship where I'm not being put first. My feelings and my thoughts are not matter. And matter of fact, I'm just hearing this person scream. You know what? Matter of fact, okay, that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. There is an anger here. There is a resistance here. It's like, yeah, I ain't doing this with you no more.
Damn you!
Okay. Now, if you resonate with person A or person B, can you go ahead and put in the chat if you are person A or person B? Okay. Go ahead. Let me know if you are resonating with person A or person B this morning. All right. And help me to understand why you said that. You know, like what is it about them that make you feel like that right now? Okay. Now, my head just started itching out of nowhere. This person may scratch their head a lot too, or may do something like rub their head a lot, but they do something with the back of their head a lot. Okay. Um, what is favorable about this situation? What is favorable about this situation is the Six of Cups in reverse. It goes back to what I said before. This person cannot stop replaying all of the things that they were doing, okay? This person knows good and doggone well that they have wronged you. They know that. They can't stop replaying it over and over again. But what's favorable for this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius is like, you know what? I ain't even looking back. You wanted to play these games with me. You embarrass me. You humiliate me. You drag me in these streets. You wanted to do all of these different things. Now you got time and space to go chase all these different. Ooh, this person is angry. Okay. This person is livid and rightfully so. They said, go chase all these and leave me alone. Okay. Go do you. It's a wrap, buddy. You wanted to marry me. You asked me to marry you. I marry you, and you not even faithful in that? This person is saying, I never signed up to be in a polygamous relationship. And that is something that if that was a belief, good morning, Belinda. Everybody say good morning to Belinda the bouncer. If you knew that you were incapable or this was something that you were going to be down with, you should have discussed this with me beforehand. And you're right. You're absolutely right because you did not sign up for this. However, I feel like if this person would have told you this about them before, you would have never taken them serious. And they knew this, okay? They knew this. They knew from the moment that they met you. You were very open about a lot of different things. But one thing you don't play with is where you love, okay? You're not the type of person who is open to a one-to-many anything. Like somebody come talking to you about a one-to-many, you like, hold on, pause. No. This person B is very traditional in how they view things, okay? And that's what made this so disruptive and so betraying to them. Oof. This person is so disgusted with you that it doesn't even make any sense, okay? Now, what signs have you experienced recently that has spoken to like these memories, right? Either A, you can't stop thinking about it, you keep playing the tape over and over again, and why do you think that is? Or B, I'm not thinking about them because it's been traumatic, it's been hurtful, it's been disappointing, it's been all those different things, and I just want to heal and move on with my life. Can you write that down in the chat? Like, what has been favorable about this situation, dealing with the memories and dealing with the things of the past? Okay. Now, what is consequential or problematic about this? If you continue to keep moving forward, okay, what would happen? We got the Four of Swords here. Okay. Meaning, if you continued down that path and didn't find the evidence and didn't see what you were seeing, you would have continued believing that you were in a situation, in a relationship, and in a marriage with somebody that was honest, faithful, loving, devoted, and pure. Like, you thought these things, but you was just like, something in my gut just ain't right. And on that fateful day where you finally saw the evidence, it was the confirmation that you didn't know that you needed. That was all you needed to know. That was all you needed to know. It was the biggest reveal that you needed to see, because you knew in your heart something was off. It just didn't feel cohesive. It just didn't feel progressive. You know, I say this all the time, and it's true to my folks, especially y'all that's married. For many people, they think the goal is marriage. And that's just a checkpoint. The goal is to have a long-term, sustaining, growing, evolving marriage, not just getting married. And in this instance, it felt like you got married and this person checked out immediately. Like, once the honeymoon period was over, they was back to their old self. So had you not seen the evidence, had you not found, and it's crazy how this came to you. This is crazy how this information came to you. You did not go looking for it. You were looking for something else and came across said information. And it was just like, wow. Wow. Really? I want you to put down in the chat, if you had some type of intuitive revelation that something was just off, but you couldn't put your finger on it, I want you just to raise your little church finger, the little index finger in the chat. If you knew that something was off in your spirit, but you couldn't just put your finger on it, you knew something wasn't right, but it was like you felt out of pocket for thinking that, and you just kind of thought, maybe I'm just bugging, maybe I'm just tripping. And this is where that karmic low vibrational stuff starts to metastasize. That's where you have the insecurities. That's where you feel like you're not good enough for somebody. That's where you have the violations occurring. This is where the distrust builds up. This is where the grief and the loss takes place, right? So this is where those empty feelings start to metastasize. And it's like, okay, so now I'm saying things to you that's going to trigger you and piss you off. And then you do the same thing to me. That's what makes this toxic. Because it's like, now I'm doing something to get a response out of you. And then you give me a response. And then everything is all good. But yeah, no, I still got this same feeling all over again. It's not, you can do it ain't what you think it is. No, it's everything that I think it is. So on said day, thank you, Melinda, for my gift. On said day, where the evidence came to the forefront, it was presented to you by the divine guidance of the spiritual realm. And now that you have said evidence, person B was confronted with having to make a split decision. And they really didn't even have to think about it. It was just like, yeah, no, not doing this. I'm out. is trying to teach you, person A? The Magician. First major arcana this morning. Okay? This is trying to teach you that you have the willpower and the discernment to do what you know that you need to do and stop playing games. But instead, you take these challenges as being an obstacle course to see what else you can get away with. You are being very sneaky, very conniving, asking people to trust you only for you to be untrustworthy. So that's why you're going through what you're going through. Because to know to do the right thing and still do the wrong thing is just as guilty of a sin as anything else. Right? And not that I'm over here Bible thumping and calling you a sinner. I'm not. But the point is, that's one of those spiritual lessons that translates and precedes your religious affiliation. Okay. And so what Spirit is saying is that you know how to be faithful. You know how to tell the truth. You just don't tell the truth because you would rather get off from lying to somebody and betraying somebody and playing games with their feelings and their emotions than to come forward and to be honest. The Spirit said, and what is that doing for you today? How is that helping you? You want to know why your life is where it is now? Because Spirit is bringing all of your deceitful endeavors to the forefront. Everything that you've done to somebody else is coming and you cannot rest. You cannot rest. Because while you over here grieving the loss of your spouse, grieving the loss of a relationship that never really was a relationship, it was relational, but it wasn't a relationship. You over here going through it. You seeing this person is happy, living their best life, traveling, looking healthy, looking vibrant. Their smile is wide. And you over here just going through it. Can't sleep at night. You done aged 10 years in the last 5 or 6 months. You feel horrible, even though you love your child. But that situation with this other person is horrendous. Like, you want to know who was trying to send you a message? It was Big Daddy G-O-D.
God did.
Took everything away from you to humble you and to bring you to this point. To say, you thought that you was getting over on everybody else that you harmed, humiliated, and betrayed. And now you got to deal with the consequences of your actions. Because all this time, you weren't thinking about how this was going to affect other people until it started affecting you. You know better. You know better. Okay? Now, what do you need to do to heal? Three of Swords in reverse. You need to be very, 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 very clear and honest with yourself. What emotion do you really need to process so that you can have clarity and understanding on who you are as a person? It's not about you being the freak of the week. It's a lot of freaky people in monogamous situations. Okay? But it's this mental distrust. It's this mental agony. It's this mental trauma. You understand? There was a misalignment. You entered a monogamous relationship contract. The day you said, I do, you entered that contract. and then you want to switch it and flip it on said person. I don't believe in that anyway. I want to be polyamorous. I want to have you and everybody else. And I want you to do these things with me. And they're not of that mindset. It's like you thought you could bait and switch them, and they're not here for it. So now that all of this is being thrown upon you, all of this stuff is coming back on you. Like it is coming out of nowhere, and you're trying to duck and dive and dodge. You cannot duck, dive, and dodge karma. So now what they want to do, they want to apologize.
I want to apologize.
But they can't. They want to and need to. But the way that their life has been set up with you, person B, you can't even believe them. They literally can pour out their whole heart to you.
I'm in pain all the time.
And you would just be like, okay. What are you telling me this for? What are you sharing this with me about? Well, okay. What, and your point is what?
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
So what do you need to do? The Two of Pentacles in reverse. What do you need to do? Stop playing games. Stop trying to juggle. Stop trying to get over. Just stop. Just stop. Okay? Just freaking stop. That's how we got into this mess to begin with. You figured you could have your cake and eat it too. You thought that you could be sneaky and malicious and conniving. You've caused this whole conundrum upon yourself because you didn't know how to be honest. You didn't know how to tell the truth. Every time this person kept calling you out, kept telling you, I just feel like something is off. You came up with some type of excuse each and every time for why their intuition was going off. And they were right the whole time. They were right.
It's all right, Mama.
Thank you, Belinda, for my gift. So here we are. Here we are at this fork in the road. And you thought you were going to keep this person bound to you? Absolutely not. This person with this devil card here, like I told you, they woke up and realized that they felt chained to codependent and an unhealthy attachment, and they felt weighed down. Once all of this unraveled, they said, you know what, baby boy, baby girl, I am done. I've been having all of these suspicions. I've been feeling it in my mind, body, heart, and soul that something was off, and you kept trying to convince me that I wasn't feeling anything. My intuition was going off. And now you want to tell me, well, it ain't even that you want to tell me. The first thing you trying to say is,
it ain't like that.
But this person had concrete whole evidence. Concrete whole evidence that you were doing all of these things. You cannot deny it. It was you.
There are multiple video evidence, social media evidence.
So now you wondering why this person done tapped out. For what? You were never really committed to begin with. So you wanted to, do you? I'm going to let you do you. That person went and filed for divorce so doggone fast. They weren't thinking about the money. They weren't thinking about the assets. They said, I don't want nothing to have to deal with you. You can keep everything. They said, I'm done. I'm done. And this caught you, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, off guard. This caught you off guard. Because you was thinking that this was going to be the same loving, caring, kind person that was just going to hold on to this. And when they hit you with that paperwork, you was like, no. But what else could you expect for this person to do? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius showed up. They were committed. They were resilient. They were persevering. They were doing all of those things until the day they had that hard proof, tangible evidence. That destroyed them, by the way. That destroyed them. Also, I kind of feel like they also know about the love child. They just never really spoke to you about it. And it feels like this was something that was going to be very, very, very devastating for them to have to wrestle with. I feel like perhaps this person wanted to have kids and couldn't have kids, or like they just didn't get pregnant. There's nothing physically wrong with them. They just did not get pregnant. And I want to say to you, if this is you, that was your body's way of rejecting that person. Okay? So that you could walk away with your head high and be like, you know what? I'm cool. Like, I'm going to let you have all of this that you want. Everything that you want, you can have it. Take me out the group chat. And this Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio thought that you was just going to be still down. They thought you was going to work on this. They thought you was going to be, they thought a lot. And they thought wrong. Why would you so ever think that somebody will want to stick around when you've been doing this?
Ass hat.
It definitely caught Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio off guard that you were so adamant and resistant to correcting things. But this was also the fruit of their labor. This is the fruit of their doing. And it's like, what made you think that I will want to stay in something that's not serving me? Things definitely got off balance. Things got out of hand. Like, once things become like this in a relationship, it's no way you can overcome that. The trust has been violated. The confidence has been corroded. Everything that you worked so hard to build was torn down in seconds.
Stupid.
You did all of this building in preparation and This marriage was a long time coming. Okay? It was a long time coming. Thank you, Belinda, for my gift. It was a long time coming. You went through all of this just to get to the altar, just to do this. And you wonder why this other person is looking at you crazy, looking at you with a side eye. You wonder why they have gotten to the point where they're like, you know what? I'm good.
I see you. We good. Okay. We good. I see you. We see each other.
We see each other. We good.
Okay? This person knows. They know. They're like, yeah, my body, my heart, my soul, everything within me was telling me that something was wrong. And I kept listening to you. Tell me I'm not wrong. I kept listening to you keep telling me that I need to relax some. I need to chill. When I was questioning your motives and the things that you were doing, there was always an explanation.
I can explain.
But when I really look at it, it's like you never really truly loved and cared for me the way that you kept saying you loved and cared for me.
Completely not true.
Because if you did, where is the evidence of said love? And that was a question they could not answer. They couldn't answer.
What the this cannot be.
We got the 8 of Swords. This is where person B said, you know what? I'm not doing this no more. I deserve better. I want better. I will have better. My life does not evolve around you. Contrary to popular belief, I would rather go out here and be on my own and do what I need to do instead of putting all of my faith, trust, and confidence in a marriage that is failing me.
I'll do the best I can, but when I got,
And the reality is, it's like I trusted you with everything. I gave you my life. That's the most vulnerable thing that I can give you. You asked for my hand in marriage. You asked me. For my trust. For my support. You asked me for all of these different things. And when I give them to you, you just drop it on the curb?
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
So person B is like, yeah, no. Things have been off balance for quite some time. I realize how unhealthy this connection has been. And I'm going to tell you real quick, I'm good. I don't have to be here. I'm going to go down. And I feel like you told them this, but they didn't believe it. I feel like you said to them, I'm going to go down and I'm going to file for divorce. And I don't want to ever hear from you again. And I feel like they kind of was just like, yeah, okay, you ain't going to do that. But you did. And they didn't see that coming. They thought it was time to play games. They thought you was just trying to leverage this as an opportunity to like pull this over their head. They did not think you were serious. And honest to God, once they saw that, that was the beginning of their whole, moment. That's when they started realizing that their world was crashing down. How dare you to think that somebody's going to stay in a relationship with you being Mr. Unfaithful?
Crazy?
You asked for this. You asked for this. And when you got it, you didn't know what to do with it. It's not so much about you not knowing what to do with it. You thought that you was going to have your cake and eat it too. You thought that you could just mistreat this person and they ain't going to go nowhere because you got the clink on them.
Clown.
And what I'm telling you is, person B, this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius in this situation said, oh, hell no. You done got the right person on the right day at the right time. I will work 2 jobs before I have to sit up here and tolerate this.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
And this is where they started to take their love somewhere else. This is where they started to focus on themselves. This is where they said enough is enough. You want to keep playing these games. You want to be immature. You want to be a novice. Act like you don't know. You know. And that, like I said, that was when your world started to fall apart, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. This is what's caused you distress. This is why you're not sleeping at night. Remember, I said that earlier. This person is not sleeping at night. This person is wrestling with their bad decisions and poor choices, and they expect it for you, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, to continue to hang in there. They expect it for you to continue to go through this as if nothing happened. So much and not enough happened in this little precious period of time. And now that they decided that they was going to back out and walk away with their head high, I don't want nothing. I don't care that you was the breadwinner. I don't want nothing. I don't care that you took care of me and I didn't have to work. I will go get a job at Subway and I will work at Walmart. I will do whatever I have to do to put a roof over my head. That's how serious this person is. Queen says, good, because he gave me no rest at all with a newborn in postpartum. Yeah. Their behaviors definitely wasn't cool. Definitely wasn't cool. Okay? Wicked Snipe said, in this economy, good luck. Yeah. So now they sitting back looking like, What
the fuck was that?
Bro, you brought this on yourself. Now, if y'all ready to get into these closing thoughts, I want you to put your paper, pen, and notebook emojis in the chat, because it's time for us to figure out, how does this story end? I mean, at this point, we recognize that this person is the villain. But what does that have to do with anything? All right, here we go. All right, as we respectfully step out of this business and land at a potential final outcome, I say potential because I can't predict free will. Remember, free will is always at play. Spirit will show us the path, but it's up to us to decide if we're going to walk it or not, okay? So, we got the Justice card in reverse, followed by the 10 of Pentacles. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, you're not liking this dark hole of a season that you're in. You're not enjoying this at all. Everything that you thought was going to just be okay. It's not okay. You going through it, poor little tink tink. You brought this on yourself. And the reason why this is so bothersome to you is because when you look, as I stated earlier, when you look at this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, they are happy. They're doing them. They're living their best life. You don't like it because they ain't thinking about you. They ain't thinking about you. You over here shocked and flabbergasted that they out here, they traveling the world. You thought you was going to make and break them? No. The moment this person left you, their whole life started to open up for them. They started to have better options, meet better people, and see the same behavior, the same spirit that you disliked. It's the same spirit that is so welcoming, so warming, and so nurturing to others. You think you the only person that they could have had? No, they got other options. Homegirl is out living her best life. Okay. This is the type of person that men would love to have. When I tell you this person is looking vibrant, they're happy, their skin is glowing, their hair is growing. They done got thicker in all the right places. They've been focusing, doing them. And it bothers you because it's like every time you get to thinking about them, every time you keep reaching out to them with some type of sad love story that don't nobody want to hear, you mad because they just looking at the phone like, and I wouldn't be surprised if Gemini, Libra, Aquarius is being messy and showing these messages to their new boo. I wouldn't be surprised at all. That's how much they don't want to be with you. They're laughing at you. They're like, why do I all of a sudden now need to have empathy for you? Thank you, Juanetta, for my gifts. It's like, why do I need to have some empathy and sympathy for you? Why should I give a hoot what your life is like now? Why should I care? I showed up for you, gave you my mind, my body, and my soul. And you betrayed me for everything that you could possibly sacrifice this precious innocence for. And now you want to text me how you feeling, what you doing, what you thinking about, how you can't sleep. Guess what, bro?
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
They don't care. I really feel like they like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And they just not giving you an answer. They're wishing more so that you keep all this information to yourself with this Four of Pentacles, actually. They don't care. They don't care. They don't want to hear what you got to say. They don't care. When I tell you, when this person made up their mind to walk away from this connection, they were done. You wanted to do all this stuff that you was doing. Do it. They said, I'm not taking no more losses or shorts. But here you are, still holding on. Still holding on. Trying to flatter this person with gifts. Trying to, deposit money in their account. Doing things to get their attention. And while those things are accepted and appreciated, that don't mean that's what they need from you. They're going to take it. Okay, you want to buy them a Chanel bag. Cool. When the people deliver it at your house, homegirl went to the door and was like,
That's suspicious. That's weird.
but thank you. Thank you for my gift, Mrs. D. And we got the Six of Wands. They still going on about their day. Living their best life. Holding their head high. Being successful. Doing the things that they need to do. They are not thinking about you. When I tell you that ship has sailed, that ship has sailed. Now the question becomes, will they ever get the clue? Will they ever get the clue? This person may also be weaponizing like their mother in this. Or like a family member that Gemini, Libra, Aquarius really cares for and has a closeness to. It feels like they're weaponizing them to try to lure you in. Yeah, but it's not going to work. We got the Lovers in reverse, followed by the Six of Wands in reverse, followed by the Justice in reverse. They're going to finally get to the point to where they realize, like, this is done. This is over with. And good for them. They're not going to block you. They're not going to do any of that. Because Gemini, Libra, Aquarius is petty enough for you to see how they're living and how they enjoy their life. They're like, you know what? I ain't going to block you. I ain't going to disconnect you. I ain't going to do none of that. I want you to see me glow up. I want you to see me happy, healthy, and whole and wise. I want you to see that I'm loving my body. I want you to see this. Because if you thought that I was going to be the type of girl that ain't going to get up and get down and be with somebody else, you done thought wrong, mother trucker. Because let me tell you something. I am the baddest. And they mean it. They mean everything. We got the Ace of Cups. And we got the Four of Wands. They're not going to be able to let go. Because as they go through this mental agony and mental warfare, they know that they have lost their happy place. This was easy. They played you because they knew they could. And now that they can't play you no more, now that they can't easily manipulate you anymore, that's where this is becoming a problem. because you're taking all that energy that they're giving you, focusing on itself. They're not thinking about you. They really are not. This person is maybe going on social media, maybe trying to get your attention, trying to get people to feel sorry for them. It's very narcissistic. Very narcissistic behavior. Because they're like showing up and doing the most. I feel like they're trying to shame you in a court of public opinion, and public opinion means nothing. But it feels like they are getting off from doing things to try to get your attention.
Congratulations! Oh my God.
And I swear to you, if I didn't say this already, I feel like Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, as soon as you move on from around this person, you're going to end up being pregnant by somebody else. And that is going to devastate them.
Oh my God. My Shayla. My Shayla.
So here comes all of these gifts, even more gifts. And you just over here like, thank you, but I didn't ask you for it. And you know, when all the aunties and stuff be trying to get into your business, so you gonna get back with your own? Baby, that's a good man. And you over here giving them the side eye like,
Hell no. What did you say? Hell no. What did she say?
I love and respect you, auntie, but I'm gonna need your old dusty ass to mind your business. What you accepted and tolerated in your marriage is not what I'm going to accept and tolerate in mine. I'm not going to sit here and allow my husband to continuously humiliate me.
Embarrassing.
That chapter in my life is over. And I have no intentions on going back to it. You can say whatever you want to say. You can do whatever you want to do, auntie, Miss Beverly. You can keep telling me, I sure keep praying y'all get back together. Okay, girl.
Don't stop believing.
This is what makes this so toxic. You understand? Because you got people coming from the north, south, east, and west trying to influence you and cajole you to going back to something that you have verbally said and stood on that was toxic and unhealthy.
Damn.
Every time that name come up, you just be giving them the side eye like. And here's the thing. You may even have some people looking at you crazy and being like,
You raggedy bitch.
and you just like, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna be everything that you say I could be. This person, this Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces is going to up the antics.
What more do you want from me?
But really, it's like, I'm good.
I am sick. I am sick of your shit. And when I'm not sick, I'm tired. I am sick and tired.
So it's definitely shameful how this person has this village of support, but the village of support does not know the true extent nor depth of the betrayal. They are very disillusioned about what happened, when it happened, how it happened. And no, you don't have to explain yourself. You said what you said. I've checked in, I've checked out, I'm gone. Bye.
Who gives a shit?
Isn't it comical how many people will encourage you to stay in a toxic and unhealthy marriage than to mind a business and support you on your health and well-being and your growth?
What the hell? Oh my God, no way.
Woo, I pulled a muscle in my back, y'all. All right, so Romeo and Juliet, what messages do you have for this Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces dealing with this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius? Poison, harmful, destructive. If you had the strength of 20 men, it would dispatch you straight. You are the poison. You have been harmful and you have been destructive to this person's health and well-being. You could keep saying all the things that you want to keep saying. You could keep on believing all the things that you want to believe. But you have been identified as the toxic and weakest link. And it don't feel good because now people are seeing you for who you are.
Damn!
What confessions might this soulmate have for this other person?
I can't get you off my mind all day, every day. I always wonder what you're doing and how you feel about me. Meet me in your dreams tonight so we can start making our own future together in reality. I want to build a strong, solid foundation for us.
Didn't I tell y'all that this person cannot stop thinking about you? If you heard me say that, go ahead and put in the chat the ear. Welcome from India. Good morning. Good evening. Good morning. All right. So, what are some true thoughts that this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius has towards this Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces? Okay. We are not suited for each other came out. We are not suited for each other. I use my work as a way to move on from you. So they're happy with doing them. Okay? They wanted to share their happiness with you, but you didn't allow that. You did not allow that. You was like, yeah, no, All right, I'm going to head out. What is the hidden truth that needs to be revealed to this Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces? What is the biggest confession that they got to say?
Your love is a tapestry woven with threads of joy and warmth. Duh. We know that. We know that. You felt like this all this time and you still play games, sir. Holding your hand, I feel like I could conquer anything. Well, you ain't touching my hand no more. Whose truth is that? Your truth or my truth or the truth? All right. What else? Every beat of my heart whispers your name. I bet it does. Because spirit is open up a can of whoop ass on you. Bro, cry me a river. Cry me a river. You want to sit up here and you want to play these games? You want to do this malarkey, this trash. You want to play these games. You want to be doing all of these malicious and vile things, and now all of a sudden you want something from me? Ain't gonna happen, sir. Ain't happening, Captain. All right, so what shadow work should this Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces be working on during this time? Rejection. Through the sling of being left out, we discover our own inner worth. This is about them overcoming denial, dismissive, and exclusion. Okay? They need to accept the fact that you have a right to reject them. And we talked about that. You have every reason to hate them. What shadow work should this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius be working on during this time? Shame. Embrace your flaws as they are a part of your unique story. So this is about you overcoming humiliation, disgrace, and embarrassment, which is everything that we've talked about so far today. Whew. Let's take a minute to reflect. How did this reading make you feel? Does it bring you relief, excitement, or hesitation? And why do you think that is? And for some of y'all, if you could rewrite the story, how would that story end for you? And go ahead and write that down in the chat. I want to thank you so much for tuning in to PiSeas Tarot with me, your girl, Mimi Lightseer. If today's reading moved you, helped you, or even called you out with love, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and give me a thumbs up and drop a comment in the section below and let me know what resonated with you. Remember, this reading is timeless, so come back to it whenever you need it and get a little bit of perspective or a spiritual reset. You can find today's video at Mimi Lightseer. Would you like to do a one-on-one reading with me? If so, don't be shy. I am currently booking right now at PiSeasTarot.com. Remember, Spirit may have a whole lot to say to you, okay? But remember, I will never solicit you for any readings, okay? While understanding that readings are available, please note that readings are booked based on availability at PiSeasTarot.com. If you are receiving messages from folks claiming to be me, talking about, sweetheart, Spirit tells me, that is not me. I am not going to reach out to you just to be reaching out to you. So remember to ensure that you're communicating with me to actually me, to ensure that you are not being scammed, okay? And I don't want anybody taking your hard-earned money and giving you readings that are not what you expected, okay? Now, to my new subscribers, we've had 8 people to join us today.
Welcome to the pod and to my returning guppies. Thank you for being the heartbeat of this space. To everyone who has gifted me, we had 7 people who have gifted me today. Thank you so much for your time, your talent, and your treasure. I thank you so much for full gratitude for you pouring into this sacred space. All right. Now listen, everyone is fighting a battle that you cannot see. So be kind, patient, and gentle with others as much as you are yourself. How people treat you is not your business. How you respond, now that's where your power lies. Leave a little bit of love everywhere you go, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.